for America, Opportunity and Inequality 1920 to 1972. Today we're going to look at Learn Objective 36 from your knowledge organiser, who wanted women to have civil rights by the 1960s. So, just a reminder, civil rights then means equal rights. So, who wanted women to have equal rights to men by the 1960s? So if we think about women kind of in the 1940s, that's where we'll kind of start, where the kind of attitudes really begin to change. We have women here fighting, not necessarily fighting, but contributing to the war effort in jobs. Remember, 1/3 of jobs were taken up by women in factories, and they helped bring freedom, bring liberty to Europe. However, in the United States, they didn't have liberty. They didn't have complete freedom, complete equality. So they're a little bit annoyed about that. As a result of that, the feminist movement came into existence. And this is groups of women who wanted equal rights for women. So they wanted civil rights for women. Very important to remember, if you get a question on the feminist movement, that's women. If you get a question on the civil rights movement, that's African Americans. So both want civil rights, both want equal rights, but one's called the feminist movement and one's called the civil rights movement, because sometimes people get the question, see civil rights movement and talk about women. You won't get any marks for it. So who wants civil rights movement, civil rights for women in the 1960s then and 1970s? As a result of that sort of impact in the war? Well, obviously, if you're looking at your subgroups, women from the war, women who fought in the war, 350,000 women had joined the armed forces. 1/3 of all jobs were done by America. So women felt like they'd proved themselves and they deserved it. Now remember as well, they already have the vote. They got the vote in the 1920s. So they've got the vote. So don't go writing that, they're going to get the vote, they want the vote, they've got the vote. Okay, they've got it. We've also got JFK. He introduces the Status Commission, which shows in 1963 that women earned 60% less than men, which was shocking. Only 7% of women were doctors, when they made up half of the American population. So it really should be half and half if they had equal opportunity. As a result of this, JFK passed the Equal Pay Act, giving women equal pay. So who else wanted women to have equality? Well, if we think about subgroups, black women, they're progressing in terms of their civil rights to be equal to men, equal to white people, and that's great, but they might be equal to white women, but they'll still be unequal to men. So African American women wanted obviously equal rights for African Americans, but also equal rights for women as well. We also have the NOW, which was a protest group formed in 1966. They had 40,000 members. They took to the streets campaigning for abortion rights, and they took companies to court who failed to pay men and women the same. So again, if we think about kind of the impact of these groups, yeah, absolutely great for women. They're getting rights they've never had before. But if we think about the impact on businesses, they might struggle because of this. They might suffer because of this. So again, always thinking about those subgroups and the impact it has on different types of Americans. And finally, the final group is the Women's Liberation Movement, also known as Women's Lib. They would go on to disrupt high-profile events to gain attention. So it's a little bit like Extinction Rebellion now. They might, tie themselves to a goalpost at a football stadium to stop the game to get attention. These women, they did the same through the 1968 Miss World Beauties contest. So, women aren't just a piece of meat to be looking at. So those are the groups that wanted equal rights for women. And we're going to go on now to look at in the next screen